What's up, Bridal Babes? I hope you're ready for another exciting episode of your favorite local wedding show, Bridal Buzz. I'm your host, Kat, and today we're back on location at Anne Marie's Event Center. We're going to learn about their recent renovations, their catering, their bar service, their full service approach to helping your next event be the best that it can be. So with that, let's get started. All right, Bridal Babes, here we are at Anne Marie's Event Center with Rueben. Thanks so much for letting us come out today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Of course. And tell our audience a little bit about who you are and your role here at Anne Marie's.
So I am the managing partner, general manager, head bottle washer, floor mopper, whatever's got to be done. But we bought this building. It was an existing business when we bought the building. When we bought the business, it was an existing restaurant. So that's where the name Anne Marie comes from, is the original owner was Anne Marie. Then we bought, it was called Anne Marie's Gourmet Shop and Deli. And then we built it the first 9 years through doing weddings. And then 2001, we bought the building, which was called Celebration Square. So that's why this is still called the Celebration Room. So this is where we hold celebrations. So we have parties, weddings, corporate events. We have all the video and audio technology you need here for any kind of meetings that you have. And so we're constantly holding functions here Monday through Saturday. And then on Sunday, a church has services here.
Oh, amazing.
So they have the building on, so they celebrate as well on Sunday here.
Cool. So you mentioned a lot about the versatility of the different kinds of events that this space can hold: weddings, bridal showers, corporate, quinceañeras. Tell me a little bit about the booking process for Anne Marie's.
Okay, so here at Anne Marie's, we've got a wonderful team. Majority of my team has been with the company for over 20 years. We've been in business, it'll be 31 years in January.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And but the team knows what they're doing. They know what I like to have done. They know what standards we've established. They know what the bride is looking for. So we've got people on the sales team. We've got the sales director, which is Holly Busk, who's been here since 2000. And she is our queen of theme. So she's got the creativity, she's got the ideas. The first 9 years of our business, of our existence, we grew at a rate of 30% all through catering. Wow. We just started catering more events and more events and more events. And then in 2000, when Holly came to work for us, she said, "No, boys, we're not gonna be a small business anymore. We're not gonna party with our clients. We're gonna take this to a professional level. We're gonna make this a professional business and make a living catering."
Wow, so shout out to Holly.
Oh yeah, and she's awesome. So she took us to the next level. Now we started doing bigger events. We started doing corporate events. We started doing, events that required a more professional touch. She wanted to take us to the level of being the best caterer in town.
Heck yeah.
We may not be the biggest, but in our opinions, we're the best. So now we not only have this banquet facility, majority of our events are going somewhere else. So you find a facility, we're on the majority of the list. We can cater at any venue that you want. As a matter of fact, so many venues have gone up in the hill country that don't have catering kitchens in them. They have a caterer's kitchen or staging area that it takes us an hour to get there. So we didn't want our clients' food to not be hot and fresh when we got there. So we invested in a mobile kitchen. So now if you're doing an event that's more than 30 minutes away, we've got an option for you to rent our mobile kitchen so that we can take it out and actually cook your food on site.
Wow. You mentioned you have catering, but you also can provide bar services in addition to that catering, right?
Yes. So we are a fully licensed bar agency. Normally we do bartending as part of our catering package. We have done some events, some larger events that strictly bar. So we'll do strictly bar. We can do a cash bar. We can serve what you provide. We can do a hosted bar. We can provide any service that you want. And all our servers are TABC certified.
Perfect.
So that they know what they're looking for when they're in an event. We don't want to cut anybody off, but if the need be, if someone's getting to that point, they all know what to look for.
Right, I'd rather that than the opposite.
Right, exactly. We just don't want anybody to get hurt on their way home from the celebration.
Exactly.
So all my staff has been trained on what to look for.
Right.
So our goal is to work with wedding coordinators and help them flow the event,
Perfect.
help them have a seamless event.
Right. One of the main reasons you hire professionals for the wedding
Right.
is to make sure it runs smoothly. Tell me a little bit about the capacity abilities. How many people can you serve on a typical event?
The largest event I've done is 1,300.
Wow.
We have china, silverware, glassware to do probably 600 to 1,000.
Wow.
We have gone to the extreme of buying our linen, buying our silverware, buying our plateware, buying our glassware, owning it all, so that when we get to an event to set up, the first thing that's got to go on the table is a tablecloth.
Right.
Because everything goes above that and on top of that. When we used to use a third party, we were waiting on them to arrive with the linen before we can start, whether it's the florist, whether it's us putting the silverware on it. So we got to a point where I decided, you know what, we're gonna buy our own because we can control the timing and the quality that we get.
Yeah.
So now we buy all our own linen. So if you've got something you want and we don't have it, we buy it for you.
Wow.
So we buy all our own linen. We have our own processing here. We process all our linen so we can make sure it's clean and in good shape. And if it's not, we replace it. So we have control over that when we buy all our own linen. And then everything that goes on top of that we own as well, the napkins and the silverware and the glassware. So we're a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
You come here, we can do everything and anything that you want.
Yeah.
And you don't have to find multiple vendors.
I love
and
that.
price-wise, I'll compete with anybody.
Perfect.
If somebody said, well, we'll do your silverware for X amount of dollars, well, I'll match their cost. But I want to keep it simple for you.
Yeah.
That's our objective, is to make it a seamless process for you. Nothing's ever going to be perfect, but we're going to try as hard as we can to make it the best that you want it.
Perfect. Well, thanks, Rueben. So tell me a little bit more about how many people this space can accommodate.
Okay, so nowadays what we do is we limit it at 200 people, 25 tables of 8. That gives you plenty of room to get in between the tables, to walk around, because we got to remember most events that we host here are social events. So you want to be able to get in between tables,
Right.
talk to people,
Be comfortable.
and be comfortable. Exactly. We can even do a ceremony here. So we've got pipe and drape that we can separate a section of the room from the main dining room. And so that area we call the lobby. So in that place we can put buffets, bars, cocktail tables, and have the DJ on the other side of the room, so that you can kind of separate the two. Or we can use that area as a ceremony site. We have an arch. You can put an arch there. You can set up the chairs. Once the ceremony is over, everybody can go into the main dining room and have food and drink and begin the party and the celebration while pictures continue.
Cool.
So they don't have to go anywhere. So we can do everything here at one site.
So tell me what the typical wedding day flow looks like here at Anne Marie's.
So at Anne Marie's, we allow you 6 hours of party time, but we allow you the whole day to set up. And the really good thing is, most of our events are on Saturday nights. So if we don't have a Friday night event, we'll set it up Friday after whatever luncheon we had that day. We'll set the room up and you can come in Friday night.
That's awesome.
And you can set the room up and put everything down so that your day of is less stressful. You don't have to worry about it. Otherwise, you can get in by noon. They start dropping off the cake. The DJ comes and sets up. You leave us whatever you want put on the tables. You can do it yourself, or you can ask us to do it for you. So you've got the whole day. We don't limit you and say, okay, you only have 2 hours before. We give you the whole day to set up. And then at the end of the night, yeah, we want you out in an hour. But at that point, we did everything. We did 90% of the work. So you're just taking your gifts and you're going home.
Right.
So that's our objective.
That's part of your full service approach to
Exactly.
everything, is
So
making
we
it
do the
easy.
cleanup, we do the setup, at the end of the night, you're just taking your stuff and your people and you're going home and enjoying the rest of the life,
Yes.
the rest of your life.
And I love the convenience of the bridal suite right off of the main room. Your bar and your kitchen are right here, easy access for all of the guests, and fresh food to come straight out to the tables.
Right out of the kitchen onto the tables,
Yes.
exactly.
So guide me through some of the package options that brides might be considering when they're looking at booking you.
So the packages that we offer can start with your very basic barbecue and clear plastic, and we always include the linen, of course. And then it goes all the way up to where we can include full bars, we can include high-end menus, we can include uplighting, we can include taller centerpieces. What we have now, what we have in front of us is our most popular choice and most cost effective, but it's what we call simple elegance. It's three-tiered, 3 cylinders with floating candles and fresh rose petals around it. And we can pick the color of whatever roses that you want that'll match your theme. So this is included in our gold package. But we can also do tall, ornate, and more elaborate centerpieces, or alternate your centerpieces. So the higher the packages go, the more you can include in there. And again, even our high-end packages at $100 a person, that includes everything. If you were to piecemeal that out, it costs you way more than that. And so that's what makes us work, is our packages include everything that you need with a one-stop shop, but it's also cost effective. And so it's a good deal. It really is. I mean, the packages can include as much as you want or as little as you want, but you don't have to find multiple vendors to do it.
Yeah, I love the flexibility, the personalization, and all of just that special touch that Anne Marie's offers and wants to bring to their clients on their big days. So catering is obviously a huge part of Anne Marie's. I think the bridal babes should see a little bit of the food, and I want to taste some. So,
well, good. Well, you're in luck. Chef Kay has prepared some hors d'oeuvres for us to try today, and so food is how we started and how we will always continue. So we take pride in what we do. We always make everything fresh from scratch, and it's always delicious. And if not, that's the whole purpose of the tasting, so that we can make the food the way that you want. So we're going to take this opportunity to see the beautiful presentation and try some of the delicious food.
I'm so excited. Let's get to it.
All right, let's go.
Oh my gosh, look at this delicious spread of hors d'oeuvres, bridal babes. I'm so excited to dig in, but before we do, I want to learn a little bit about what's in front of me.
Okay, so Chef Kay has prepared us a variety of 9 different items that she's made by hand from scratch. So again, we don't buy anything pre-done, frozen, thaw, heat and serve. We make these by hand. So it's very easy for us to change the recipe a little bit if we need be, because we've discovered the dietary restrictions are so prevalent in our society now that we need to be able to offer vegan dishes, vegetarian dishes, gluten-free dishes, pescatarian dishes. We need to be able to accommodate everybody's taste, because it's not just an occasional thing, it's every event. So we're always prepared for that. So we'll start right here with the salmon. The salmon is definitely gluten intolerant. So this would be salmon tartare on a cucumber, and there's no bread in it.
Perfect.
We've got a mushroom cap. So we can stuff the mushroom cap with anything you like. It could be vegan, it could be vegetarian, it could be meat. In this case, we've got a crab stuffed mushroom.
Oh, that sounds so good.
It is. The spring roll. The spring roll is right next to it. In our spring roll, we've got a sweet chili sauce to dip into it. This is our mini crab cake with a homemade remoulade on top. So we've got a turkey, cranberry, and spinach pinwheel. We've got a puff pastry stuffed with acorn squash.
Oh, yum.
So these are seasonal items. So acorn squash is big in the fall. Okay, so this one right here is butternut squash with pesto on a crostini. And then we've got gnocchi over here, a blue cheese gnocchi with a chipotle mayo.
Wow.
So we've got a big variety of food, and again, we can change it if you like to meet dietary restrictions. We did a wedding where everything was gluten-free.
Wow.
Because the groom was gluten intolerant. He was a celiac. He had celiac disease, and so he could not eat anything with gluten. And the bride didn't want the groom to be concerned and worried throughout his event. So we did the entire menu gluten-free.
Wow, 0 cross-contamination. He didn't have to worry at all. That is perfect. That is the position that you should feel like you're in on your wedding day, 100%. And so let's try a couple of these options, bridal babes. I'm really excited for that crab stuffed mushroom, so I'm gonna go ahead and go for that first. Okay.
So please indulge. So we buy go ahead and start eating.
Do I just bite in?
Here, use a fork and knife.
Okay.
Cut it to.
Don't be savage, Kat. Okay.
All right.
And the fact that all of this is made fresh here, like the egg rolls, the crab cakes, all of these things, you don't normally see that.
Yeah. So we'll take just a regular mushroom, pull the stem out, and stuff it ourselves by hand. So we make all the mixing first, all the mix that goes inside of it, and then we stuff the mushroom, and then we roast it.
This is like an Italian crab dream. Like all of the flavors are very much that Italian, I don't even know.
Yeah, you should get
So
a
good.
burst of spice when you bite into flavor, Italian herbs.
And you can taste the crab too. It is fresh, it is delicious,
Yeah.
the texture is perfect. I would have so much fun passing these out at an
Oh
event.
yeah. And that's really the hard part about working here is I make you try everything that you pass out. So all my employees have got to try the food because they've got to know what they're handing out. They've got to know what it tastes like. And that's a big thing in our kitchen is taste the food before you serve it to our guests. Make sure it's something that you would eat and you would enjoy before you put it in front of our guests.
I want to eat this whole thing right now.
Try the smoked salmon.
Okay.
You'll like that. Right here. Alrighty.
Oh, I am a sucker for some smoked salmon too.
There you go. She's not sharing that one. How does it taste?
The smokiness of the salmon. There's like a spice in this red sauce on top too.
That's a sriracha sauce.
I was not expecting that, but it is so perfectly combined with the freshness of the cucumber. I love it.
Oh, good.
And both
That's
of
our
these are
goal is to come up with
gluten-free.
stuff. Yeah, they're gluten-free. We're trying to create an explosion for your senses.
Yeah, that is an explosion. That's a sensory experience, right?
Yeah,
It's
because
so good.
it looks good, it smells good, and it tastes good.
Yes.
So we want everything all your senses to be,
Stimulated.
there you go.
Yeah.
We want all your senses to be stimulated with our food.
Yes. Oh my gosh, the spice is just perfect. It's lingering, and I want to eat more. So I definitely know I want to try this gnocchi, but I want to know a little bit more about how these hors d'oeuvres are served at a typical event.
Good question. What we do is it's designed so we can be bite-sized, maybe 2 bites, but we pass them with an hors d'oeuvre server. So the servers will walk around and offer an hors d'oeuvre to the guests, and then they have a napkin in one hand, the tray in the other, and there's always tongs on there. Or in this case of the spoon, they can just grab the spoon and then enjoy the hors d'oeuvre that's on the spoon.
That was so fun. What an
So-
experience for the guests to go through too.
So I always like to recommend a combination of past hors d'oeuvres and displayed hors d'oeuvres. You know, your traditional displayed hors d'oeuvres like a vegetable crudité, fresh fruit platter. Charcuterie boards are very, very popular.
Yes.
So a very beautiful charcuterie display. So they've got display items where they can go to, but so that they don't have to stand in line to get something to eat, we always recommend you have a couple of hors d'oeuvres that we can pass, that we'll take them to the guests where they're gathering.
And it just elevates the experience too.
It
to
does.
have people passing out food directly to the guests. I love that feeling. Yeah. Well, I am just in love with everything I've eaten, everything I've heard today. Thank you again, Rueben, for letting us come out. If Bridal Babes were interested in learning more, booking a tasting, coming and seeing the space, what would be the best way for them to do that?
So I always recommend people start at the website because all the information that you need is on the website. Plus, most of the times that people are planning this are during non-office hours. So if you go to annemaries.com, that's spelled with ANNEMARIES.com, you can find the information that you want. There's a gallery of pictures, there's suggestive menus on there. Granted, over the 30 years, there's very little we haven't done. We have multiple chefs, so we can pretty much meet everybody's needs.
Love it.
But it's got phone numbers. You can request an estimate right off the website. It'll get emailed to one of the sales assistants. And they will take that forward to one of the sales managers, and we will get back with you within a day or two. The really good thing about going to the website is you don't have to do your homework and your research during business hours only, because you have access to the information right on the online.
Whenever you need it.
Yep, at your fingertips.
Amazing. Well, Bridal Babes, make sure you head to annemaries.com today to learn more, reach out to Rueben, taste the delicious food, and everything you need to know to book Anne Marie's for your next big event. Well, there you have it, Bridal Babes. Anne Marie's is the place to be if you're looking for that full service approach for your next event. So make sure you dig in, learn a little bit more about what they can provide for your next big day. And don't forget, the buzz doesn't have to stop here. We are everywhere online. Make sure you turn on those notifications, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.